Hello and welcome to the lecture wherein we are going to talk about reactive intermediates involved in organic transformations. There are four reactive intermediates: carbonium ion or carbocation, second carbanion, third carbene, and fourth carbon free radicals. So at least 4 lectures will require, because we have to see the generation of these radicals, then the stability of these radicals, and finally the fate of those radicals or the reactions of these radicals in order to get the stability. So once the carbonium ion is there, it will react with nucleophile or it will lose proton, and in some cases rearrangements also take place where the carbon skeleton of the molecule changes and so on. So that is the fate of carbonium ion. So first of all, carbonium ion is electron deficient entity or species wherein carbon is having 6 electrons around it. So incomplete octet you can say, and hybridization state is sp2 and it is planar. So the nucleophile can approach from both the side, top phase as well as bottom phase, because all these 3 carbons or 3 entities joining to the central carbon are in the same plane. So that is sp2 hybridization and the planarity is there. If you look at the generation of the carbonium ion, then these are the principal methods or the cheap methods you can say, wherein you can generate the carbonium ion. The classical method where the halides are treated with superacid or antimony pentafluoride, you get this. Now this is intimate ion pair, so R plus is associated with this SbF6 minus. Alcohols, when treated with mineral acid, the OH group protonates and the loss of water furnishes the carbonium ion. Similarly, the amines, when diazotize, you get diazonium salt, and nitrogen being a good leaving group, it departs with the formation of R plus or the carbonium ion to be precise. Another method is wherein you can add the H plus across the double bond, or you can say that alkenes interact with H plus. So pi electrons are donated to H plus and the carbon hydrogen bond is formed and a positive charge is inducted in the system, so as in the case of triple bond. And last thing is the solvolysis of this tosylate, giving the positively charged species. Now this species can enjoy the stabilization by the virtue of double bond, and this is an example of non-classical carbonium ion wherein you can have the stabilization by the virtue of sigma electrons. So that is non-classical carbonium ion. Now the stability part will talk, and then some reactions of these carbonium ions. Now stabilization of carbonium ion is governed by 3 important things. So first one is inductive effect. So I will put stability, first is inductive effect. Now plus I effect stabilizes carbonium ion because it can neutralize the charge up to certain extent, and plus I effect will stabilize, minus I effect will destabilize the carbonium ion. Let me put the carbonium ion which is flanked by 3 methyl group. So this is tertiary carbonium ion. This arrow suggests that these methyl groups are releasing electrons through plus I effect, and by the virtue of that this carbonium ion is more stable, and you can say that inductive effect, plus I effect to be precise, is responsible for the stabilization. The amount of plus I effect is maximum here because all three groups are donating, or you can, in other words, you can say magnitude of plus I effect is high. So this is going to be the stable most. The second parameter is hyperconjugation. Hyperconjugation is a special phenomenon wherein you can enjoy the involvement of CH sigma electrons, and those CH sigma electrons can also stabilize the carbonium ion up to certain extent. Third important is resonance effect. So for hyperconjugation, you can put any example wherein the carbonium ion let me put this as R, this as R, just to simplify. Now this carbonium ion has got a alpha carbon, and now these electrons, CH sigma electrons, can be utilized this is hyperconjugation. So number of alpha protons, there are 2, so obviously we can write 2 hyperconjugation stabilization. So this is the example. Now coming to resonance effect. Now resonance effect is important because the resonance stabilization is well known, and some of the intermediates are isolated, have been isolated, you can say. Now this is the carbonium ion. This is having 3 benzene rings attached to it. So this carbon is benzylic to 3 aromatic rings, and naturally when you want to show the resonance stabilization, the double headed arrow would be there. So we are not showing the involvement of all the rings at a time, one ring at a time where we can show. This will become double bond. A positive charge is introduced in the ring, and you can show the further resonance. So that can be easily shown. So 3 structures for this, 3 for this, 3 for this. So 9 resonating structures or canonical structures are possible for this. So this enjoys maximum resonance stabilization, and you can, I am just drawing 1 or 2. You can always draw the remaining because resonance and all these phenomena are known to you, and so on. So this is there. So whenever this kind of stabilization is there, those carbonium ions are more stable. So the stabilization through resonance by the virtue of aromatic ring is very well known, and this kind of triphenyl methyl cations are more stable and isolable and were characterized nicely. Another example is wherein you are having 3 alicyclic rings next to carbon. Now these alicyclic rings are equivalent to double bond. So let us say I am putting breaking this double bond, and we are keeping the other 2 rings intact. So let me draw it like that, and then this becomes double bond. Okay, CH CH2 CH2 plus. Okay, so CH2 CH2 plus, so this will be there and so on. So you can write the resonating structures. So 3 membered ring or any alicyclic ring for that matter can be utilized. So this is another example of the stabilization. Now here this is another example wherein you can show the stabilization of this by the virtue of resonance effect, which is possible because double bond can participate, and that is how the stability is there. Now the important thing is the fate or the reactions of carbonium ion. So reactions, let me put reactions one by one. The first one is nucleophilic attack, second one is loss of proton, and third one is addition to C double bond C, and last is rearrangement. So nucleophilic attack, the well known examples are whenever carbonium ion is there, say for example in case of SN1, heterolytic cleavage of tertiary halide makes the carbonium ion, and that carbonium ion is labile to nucleophilic attack including water, and you get alcohol. In SN2, the loss of leaving group and the approach of incoming nucleophile is taking place at same rate, so that is why the second order kinetics are followed. SNI is a special case wherein the nucleophile is generated in situ within the reaction medium, and the best example is chlorination of alcohols using thionyl chloride. So that is the best example for SNI. So I will just put the last example SN1, SN2, you guys are knowing it. This is thionyl chloride, SoCl2, loss of hydrochloric acid, loss of SO2, and then this becomes RCH2Cl. So this is your classical SNI substitution nucleophilic intramolecular. So because this becomes electron deficient after losing sulfur dioxide, the Cl is a internal nucleophile, that's why this I is suffix is there. Okay. Now the second one is loss of proton. So loss of proton will make it, so for example we are having this primary carbonium ion. Okay, now this proton can be sacrificed and you can get alkene. So the loss of proton is possible whenever you are working with a less stable carbonium ion, and loss of proton will make it give rise to a stable entity or stable product. So this can give you alkene. The another third thing is, or third fate or third reaction is the addition to double bonds. So let us say I am having this proton, the arrow should be proper, you can't show arrow from plus to this, that arrow is wrong, electron rich to electron deficient, that is how the arrow should move, and you are once again you are getting the another carbonium ion and it will have different fate. Now rearrangement, we have seen so many. So let me put one simple example wherein the rearrangement is the simple example. Maybe in next lecture we will have more example on this. This is heterolytic cleavage of carbon chlorine bond, then shifting one of the methyl here becomes positive, and then attack of ROH here is OR. Of course, I am skipping one step here. So carbon skeleton is changed. So this is a type of rearrangement. Of course, we have seen some rearrangements based on carbonium ion, namely Pinacol-Pinacolon rearrangement, Daminau rearrangement, Merwin-Wagner rearrangement, and so on. So all those rearrangements are based on the carbonium ion or electron deficient carbon, to be precise. So maybe in next lecture we will have more examples based on all these categories, and after that we have to go and start with the carbanion intermediates, how they are generated, the fate of those, stabilization and the factors influencing stabilization, because in theory some questions nowadays, online exams are there, so big questions are not asked, but in online exams you must know the basics, because theory questions can be asked for 1 mark also, not definition type but application based problems. Like if this is subjected to hydrolysis, let us say with water, what is the product, then 4 options are given, this will be the correct option, the other would be incorrect, and so on. So all type of questions can be framed on the basis of basic organic chemistry. Okay. Now this is all we have to, I was planning to do, and we have got some 10-15 examples, but I don't want to put so many examples in one lecture. So my sincere request to all of you is, you go through all these things, ask the queries, because unless you study you won't be having any queries, and unless you practice, organic chemistry won't be easy subject to score. Passing you may pass, but in competitive world you have to have very good score, and then the chances of your excellence would be there in future. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your patience, and do study, do practice, do revise the things, read the books, because since we are not meeting in person, the interaction is less, but nonetheless the course is going to complete, because after this chapter we have to go for the paper solving, and there your participation is more important, because it should not be monologue. Thank you.